Wait, I see stream. I see stream. I don't see my little paying YouTuber person moving. What do you think? Yeah, it does bouncy. Cool. So I'll put that away. And it has been a minute since I streamed. And I've been working on projects here and there. Uh I was working with EGD for like the better part of a school year's length of time, uh, doing art and animations for the GSP project. Um, and then after after GDC, there's a lot of acronyms getting thrown around. So excuse me a minute. After GDC, I rolled right into building City of Silence. I and see for about 2 months. So for me, that was like a term at Southern New Hampshire University. You would do 2 months, and you'd either do another 2 months of something else, or you would take a break and then come back and do another 2 months kind of thing. So when one of the Discord channels that I cannot keep track of announced June Jam, I was like, I'm gonna do that. Um, so start first person. You. I want to put you in my E. I want to put you in here. I want to put you in the repository. Maybe make it official. The Matt Geometrist. No, I don't want starter content. Scalable. I don't need to like do that anymore because I have a laptop now that can handle Unreal Engine. The beast. But scalability is pretty good to have. So I'm starting this project fresh. The jam did officially start on Friday, but I spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of planning out what I was going to do once the theme was released. The theme is shape science, so I'm making a game about a mad geometrist. And just experimenting, prototyping, trying to make it so that when I build on stream, it's kind of as smooth as possible. I don't know how well that's gonna go, but I do have some ideas that I have been working on, putting a bit of thought into to try to get it smoother. Um, so as this loads, I'm going to try to describe what it is that I'm building. The player is a mad geometrist, and they have to use research and experimentation to fuse shapes together from basic 2D shapes into complex 3D shapes. And the goal is to use the rare shapes that are combined during experimentation to make this ultimate trapezoidodecasepticon or something like that. The ultimate Decepticon. So yeah, that is the idea. So from here, from today, I am going to be building the mechanics that I want to use that I've been working on building. Kind of just starting with the interact system, being able to pick things up and throw them with physics, because that's really kind of fun, just to kind of throw shapes and stuff around a laboratory. Getting a shop going, and getting the sale area going. That's as far as I've gotten in terms of like experimentation and planning. Trying to get all those lined out, prepped for that. But if that doesn't take too long because I've prepped myself enough, I'll try to experiment with my idea of how the shapes are going to be combined, because that's a bit tricky. That's still like working its way around in my head. And that is mostly because like there's not a flat out tutorial to build something like what I have in my head. So it takes a lot more thought and a lot more research, and probably is going to be a lot more spaghetti code, but it's a 2-week game. Code's going to be ugly. Code's going to be ugly. There's a chance the art's going to be ugly, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. First, I need to make the interaction system. Looking at my notes here for a minute. Switching gears, I'll discombobulate it and recombobulate it. And anyway, in first person character. In the first person, I need a function trace. I'm hoping that I don't have to go onto my laptop and pull my prototypes out in order to build this, but if it comes down to it, it comes down to it. Line trace by channel. That's the mesh. I want the camera. I don't even think I need a mesh. I really don't want there to be a body. Like, I struggled with... I don't know if I can talk and code at the same time. Jeez, I'm bad at this. Not like the building stuff, but like the socializing, talking while I do stuff. No. Wrong. Yeah, see, I can't do both. I need to get forward vector, and I want to multiply it, float 400, and add it and put it into the end. And do 4 duration. I'm gonna do 4 duration. Okay. On hit, has return value. Move branch. Break hit result. Actor. Does implement interface. And I'm just going, oh. I'm silly. See, I can't do this on stream. I can do this just fine when I'm like sitting on my couch, something on the TV, just relaxing. But I go and do it on stream and it's like, oh, nope. Your brain has stopped functioning. How did that happen? I put too much pressure on myself. Anyway. Blueprint. Interface. You could probably hear the pages. No, I don't want. No, yes, I do want it as an input. That would be okay for now. There's going to be more going into that. But just going to plug it in here. Okay. True. Yet another branch. The original person that built this built a whole lot of branches. I feel like I'm missing a page. My neighbor has dogs. Oh, there's dogs meeting each other outside. That's what's going on. Current focus. I forgot to add notes about the variables. I think that's what happened. Forgot to add notes about what variables I needed. That there, that there, that there. Okay. Set result as focus data. I did not take good notes. Took shitty notes. I'm not creating anything notes. Okay, I didn't need the BP with the interact docs collision. Okay. Promote hit actor to variable and it becomes the focus actor. Promote to variable. Okay, I think I've gone to where I'm realizing that my notes for this are kind of ass. Um, it definitely seems like I'm missing a page. Definitely seems like I'm missing a page. I'm not moving as fast as I want to. Um, so I am gonna go get my prototype, and I'm gonna build from there. Just because I would rather this be smooth than frustrating. So rather this be smooth than frustrating. I spent 7 minutes looking at a single piece of paper, and it is not working. So I'll load this up. Get my better notes going on. Okay, where's my first person tester? There's my first person tester. Okay. So let's look at my first person. And I'll just run through this because I think that's a better idea. I can look in the trace. And just kind of get it going. Okay. So off of this. Not off of that? No, not off of that. Hopefully I can get this going a little bit more smoothly. So I'm going to delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this, and it is focus data of type hit result, and that's the piece that I was missing in my notes. Is tracing interaction area is bold. I'm going to add grabbed actor as an actor, and I'm going to add gameplay tags as a gameplay tag container. And all of these are going to go into an interaction category. Okay. Eventually, I'm going to need a HUD ref and a currency, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So we have, let me set this up. Okay, so I have the hit result if the actor does implement interface and there is a result. Then I want to continue on. If not, I'll just set that up right now. If it's not equal to get focus data, break hit result, hit actor, which would be the current object that is being focused on. Focus data, hit actor. I should be able to, oh no, because I don't have an actor that actually implements that interface yet. This, oh, it says new function, that's why. Toggle focus. And then can I pull up this? No. Yes. Streaming makes this so much harder. Anyway. Continuing on, and then I want to set the focus data to empty. Because when it traces on something, it should do this, but when it doesn't trace on something, it should empty. So from here, I want to do the same thing. I'm going to get focus data, break hit results, and off the hit actor. I want to set, I did that wrong. I want to set this. I want to set the focus data. And then I want to break it. Get the hit actor and toggle focus. That's true. That's true. Okay, so that's the trace. And that'll go into tech. I don't normally like putting things into tick, but I think for trace, it will be okay. Okay, and that has to do with the pick up and grab stuff. It's just, yeah, that's right. Save. And this should just, yeah, just make a trace. Easy. As soon as I, get where I want to go. So the next part of that is, that's right, I need to make the material. If I go into the interact system, I want to make the outline material. It just, that seems redundant. Anyway, this is going to be a post-processing. And I need another location before bloom. And I don't think changing that is going to make a difference because it really is just emissive color. That's right. There's custom code in this, so I have to copy and paste it. I have to go find it. Okay, so this came from a tutorial by a YouTuber called Nice Shadow, N-I-C-E Shadow. And they developed it off of another creator that they credit that I can't remember their name of. Normally I would go through here and I would do this myself, build this up so that I have a better understanding of what these nodes do and how they work. The problem with that is this kind of chunk of custom code that I do not understand yet. So I can put the URL for this material into the video description so that other people can use it, so that the creator gets traffic, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so that is in the video description now. But that is the outline material. And go into project settings. Depth. Okay, custom depth stencil enabled. Enable with stencil. Save. And then I'm going to create an actor. This specific one is going to be the pickup actor. And it's gonna need a static, just a basic static mesh. actually going to call this the static mesh. Because this is going to be changing the way that I set this up. But for now, that's just the default static mesh. And what this needs is, we'll get rid of that. What this needs is the interact interface. And grab the static mesh. Render custom depth. And this is going to go in there. And not that. That static mesh. It's about to run and then turn it off, and then this just needs post-processing volume. I'll just need to remember it when I go into. Is this a post-processing volume? This is a post-processing volume. I don't need a post-processing volume. Post-processing materials, asset reference. Output material. So, in theory, I should be able to put this block on the floor. You need to simulate physics. You need to simulate physics. I think that's right. So, yeah, I think that's right. Okay. It needs to do something. Trace. That's the physics handle. Trace, release, rotate. Play reference. This isn't the thing. I go into trace. And I look at this. I know that it is tracing. Favorite time of the day. Debugging. Oh, okay. Yeah, that works. That works great. Just how I want it to. Okay, so now I want to be able to pick it up. So, the first person. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay. So the first person character needs a physics handle. Fantastic. And wanna okay, I have a lot more stuff going on in here. I do. A bunch of stuff going on in there. Grab object. Take the focus data. Get the focus data. Break the hit result of the focus data. That's the function. And does implement interface. That could be a function. That could probably get broken down into a function. Since I use it in multiple places. Branch. And this is a macro. Interact macro. So this is going to check to see if the player is on top of the object. And the input is the target actor. Is going to do another line trace by channel. Let's not be sloppy. And it actor location, put that into start. Get actor location -200 on the Z. Put that into end. Break that. Get the hit actor is not equal to the target. Plug in the result and keep it neat. And keep it neat. Okay. And the grab object. And if false, return. If true, I am grabbing this and I want to get the tags of the actor. There you go. Because this is going to come in later when I start implementing the interact on like the shops and the sell things, the things that need to get sold, the sell area. Because the shop and the sell area are two different places. It's just easy. It's just easy to not have like a menu inventory. It'll make sense once I get there. And we're gonna do a switch. And this this is just going to mean that any tag that relates to whether or not it can be interacted with is going to be the first tag on the list on whatever this is. So if I go to this pickup and I give it a tag pickup, if it's anything that needs to be interacted with, it's going to be 0 on the index, and that's just going to make it easier. Just while I'm here, I am going to add the pins and just keep them more organized. So this is going to be the cell area, and this is going to be the shop. Organized. Keep this stuff organized so I can find it later. Okay, so for this is going to come off of the hit component, not the actor. UCDD. Use CCD, not CDD. Pickup. And this is going to be true. I'm just going to reroute to keep it clean. And going to get the physics handle. Grab component at location with rotation, and it does need the with rotation that is going to come in later. Oops. Get world rotation. Location. Rotation, location, one of those things. Okay, that is all the component. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to get the grabbed actor and set it as the actor that is hit. And get the gameplay tags. This is something new that I learned about. Kind of interesting what it is. Player. Object. Default, and then set it as that. That's the thing about game jams and doing research and watching tutorials and stuff, is that there is generally always another like new thing that I can learn. I'm getting more comfortable with interfaces. I'm getting more comfortable with functions, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So this should pick up the object. There's something that I need to add to the begin play. No, the begin play. That is that's the HUD. This is actually at the end of event tech. It's actually at the end of event tech. Okay, so we're gonna get the gameplay tag. Get the gameplay tag. Has tag. Grabbed object. branch and the physics handle. Set target location to the first person camera. Get world location. Get forward vector. Multiply this $170 and then add it. And then put that as a location. So that's going to set the location for where the object is getting picked up by the physics handle, just like right in front of us. This should be okay. Yeah, because I added the tag to it, so that should be okay. So I don't have the input. I didn't put in the input to interact with the object. So input action a interact. I don't need that. What I need is this. Add the mapping to the interact. And now, cross my fingers. Oh my god, I'm so brain dead. Why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes. Good. Okay. So it is time to release the object. And this is going to take an input throw boolean, and I'm going to grab the gameplay tags. If it has the tag, which means that there is currently an object being grabbed, which is the interesting thing about tags when working with event tick. Okay, so I'm going to get the physics handle, get the grabbed component, check if the grabbed component is valid, and if it is valid, going to give it to use collider to false and release component. And I think I need to remove the tag. Remove the tag. And in the interact, there's a throw object. Okay, so get this. Remove the gameplay tag. This thing. Player grabbed object. And then I'm going to get throw and branch it. And I'll worry about the throw object in the interface in a minute. A second. My right mouse button isn't working over on my prototype section. Oh, come on. There we go. I should go get my mouse. I should go get my mouse. Okay, and set the grabbed actor to empty. So that when it's completed, release object. Pick it up. No? No. Release object. Okay, yeah, I need to get my mouse. I need to stop sitting here and I need to get my mouse. I will be right back. Okay, I can move things better. If I turn my mouse on. Jeez. Remove component. This should work. Everything I have here is the same. Yeah. Drop. See about this. Inbound. Why do I get the feeling? Cancelled. Yeah. It's a simple thing. That I missed. Fantastic. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah. That's good. That's good. I like that. Okay, so now I want to make a throw. And the thing about the throw is I'm torn on the input that the throw should be. I keep doing that. And just save it, close it here, add new mapping, throw. In my prototype, I have the throw as E, and then the rotate is the right mouse button. I'm not sure if I like that, and maybe switching the throw back to the right mouse button and using R as the rotator instead. It's all going to depend on the feel of it. Okay, so go back to the event graph. And that's the inspect. This is just making another input. Row. And making a release. No. And setting it up like that, but in release off of, actually this should be false. This should be false. That might work. That should be false. Anyway. In release. No, because it's still letting it go. It's still letting it go. It just wouldn't be setting the grabbed object to none. I need the interface and add row to that. That doesn't have anything because that's just going to be a function. An event that I can go in here. Toggle focus. Throw object. Throw. Static mesh. Set. Spell physics. Linear velocity. And do that. Player controller. Get camera. Get player camera manager. It's 10 o'clock. Get camera rotation, get forward vector, multiply that by float. The one I found that was really fun was 5,000. So we're going to go with 5,000. And I'm going to go back into here, and for the grabbed actor, get the grabbed actor. Spell throw, and throw that grabbed actor, and then reset it. So I should be able to come over to my cube, pick it up, and launch it. Yeah, 5,000 is fine. I'll probably lower it unless I like put a vaulted ceiling in the laboratory, which I could do that. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put a high ceiling in the laboratory to make that fun. Okay, so now it is rotating the object. So come in here, rotate object, and this is going to take input. I need X and Y, and they're going to be floats. And grabbed actor, get that grabbed actor. Check if that actor is valid because we don't want any errors up in here. Physics handle. Set target rotation. And I'm going to come off of, no, I'm coming off the physics handle. Get target location and rotation. Split this. Add X. Add Y. So that it pulls around nicely. Get a rotator so I can plug it back in. X, the Y, and Z. Put it in its new rotation. And return. Okay, so I need another input. Input action IA inspect. Mapping to inspect. I'm gonna make that R. Rotate it. You rotate the object with R. Okay, so in here, inspect. And this has some funky things going on in it. It's not just the straightforward. Is that right? Oh, yeah, no, because I gotta. Yes, it is right, because I have to attach it to the camera. Yes, it is right, because I have to attach it to the camera. Get the grabbed actor. Make sure the actor is valid, because we don't want any errors up in here. And the physics handle. Get grabbed component is not empty. And put that into the branch. And then gameplay tag, add gameplay tag. And we're going to add clear doc. Inspecting object. I did not do that right. I forgot to set this. We'll try that again. object and add it and click it and have you tag. Okay, so when it is completed, not canceled, we're going to, I'm going to check that again and then remove it. I don't think it's completely necessary that it needs to be checked again, but just in case it is, can I edit you? Manage gameplay tags. Restart required. Label. Restart. Oh, I edited. I forgot to make a branch. It. Starting to build game. Forgot. That is going to be like a thing that I do a lot, but that's okay. Okay, so now I need to set up the hi. I need to get the charger for my laptop because it's a beast. But a beast requires a lot of power. Oh yeah, open those back up. Did GitHub? Yeah, I'm just gonna push that. I'm just gonna push that. You mirror. Expecting object. It didn't take. Can I delete? Delete tag. Would you mind deleting the tag? Would you mind deleting the tag? Would you mind deleting the tag? It still hasn't deleted the tag. I'll just use it. I'll just use it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It does not have to be perfect. Moving on. And there's a good chance that I'm never going to come back to that tag ever again. Good chance. Still a chance. Branch. There might be a variable that I put in here that I'm actually not using, like, at all. And it's this one. I'm going to set that up and then I'm going to check. Hashtag. That in. That in. And then in the true, I'm going to rotate the object by the X and the Y. Okay, so pick up the box, drop the box, pick up the box, hold R, rotate the box, look over, throw the box. Woohoo! We have rotation and interaction. Okay. So the next steps that I should be able to do better about, because I've done them, I have a firm grasp on how I want to, on how I've been working this out. Okay, it's in the pickup data. I'm just gonna, instead of doing that though, I'm just gonna make a new folder and call it shape data. And this is where I'm going to set up the information for the shapes. And this is going to be name of text. This is going to be shape ID as an integer. This is going to be static mesh. Come on. Oh my god. Static mesh. And then it needs cost. An integer, it needs a sell price. And that's also an integer. And it needs a thumbnail for the shop. And a texture 2D, or is it 2D texture? Texture 2D. Okay, and then this is going to make a data table. Start shape info. Shapes table. Okay, I'm just gonna add a bunch. I think I added 6 in here for the first time. So these are just going to be numbers. Because that's going to come in important later when I try to set up the store. Okay, and then I'm going to set up the shapes. And kind of put the information in around that. Shape, a cube, cone, bell. Oh my god. No, not a sky sphere, just a basic sphere. Just a basic sphere. Engine meshes, basic shapes, and should be. This is just a placeholder shape. These are just placeholder shapes. I am going to expand on this eventually, but I will need the meshes to do that. Cost 1, sell price 1. Two, sell price Oh yeah, and some placeholder thumbnails just to make sure everything is working properly. Cube cone, sphere, sphere, cross, three, added, cylinder, cost, 4, surface, 2, target, and this is going to be ultimate shape. Its shape ID is just going to be 0. Cost is going to be 0 because it's not going to be in store, and for pressing sell price is print. Sell print. Oh my god, I cannot function while I'm streaming. It is awful. And then failure. I don't think that needs a shape ID either because it's not going to be added to anything. No. Cost is going to be 0. Sell price is actually going to be 20 because you can sell the failures. I think that's maybe it shouldn't be that high. It doesn't need a thumb. It doesn't need a thumb anyway. This doesn't need a thumb, and the ultimate shouldn't need a thumb either. The failure for that might be lower. It might be lower. Like on the really, really low side. There are going to be, like, once I start fleshing out the shapes and stuff, like, the sell prices to the cost prices are actually going to make sense, so they're not just going to be, like, all over the place. So what I want to do first is I want to give the player some money, and not cards. And I was thinking that the currency, because this is supposed to be, like, the theme of it is supposed to be around shapes, and I'm doing 2D and 3D shapes, that the currency itself would be called verts, like vertices. I thought that was kind of a cute idea. I'm going to close my laptop because I don't actually think that I need it for this photo. I was just working on it today, so it should, in theory, be fresh in my mind. In theory. I can't guarantee anything. Okay, so I have the structure, I have the data table, I've given the player money. There's a couple other things that I need to do to the player. Okay. Add money variable. Yeah, I want to give the player a HUD. That's what I want to do. User interface, movement widget, user widget, HUD. Canvas panel, and on the canvas panel is going to be horizontal box, and the horizontal box is going to be anchored down there. I'm just going to move it up and over a smidge. I think just about there. Okay, and I'm going to put an image in here. This is going to be the currency icon. And I'll probably be setting that up later. I'm just going to make it like yellow. Yes, this is currency. Can I set it as an image like right now? Like if I do that, no. If I do that and tint it yellow, like it's some kind of crazy thing, that could be okay. That's almost like the icon that I want for it anyway, just like a single vertice with edges outside of it. So, and then add text to the horizontal box, and this is going to be the currency text. And on event construct, I want to make blueprint interface. Stick to the naming conventions. API player info, and this is going to be player ref, and it is going to have an output of player ref of the first person character. And the API player info, and add a reference to self and plug that in so that on construct I can get this up here, set here's the text. Did I fudge something? Text block is variable. Ah, I see what I did. Yep. Streaming just removes my brain. And I don't have one anymore. It just doesn't exist. Set text. And this is going to be player character. What did I do? Player ref. That's what I did. The player ref is valid. Let's validate that stuff. It works and make the work. Okay. I think there's another thing that I want to add to this. I think there was a function that I wanted to add to this. Update. Player wallet. And this set maybe I just do this and I put it in player update. And then oh no, I know what I did. I know what I did. The alerts. That's what I did. I could. If I go in here, yeah, I look at this input. No. I feel like I did something where I exposed, instead of doing this, I exposed it on spawn, but I think this will work too. So, begin play, create widget, and I'm gonna add it to HUD. I want to promote variable so I can access it. HUD ref. And then I want to add to viewport. And save. Okay, so yeah, so I have a little misaligned doohickey down there. I don't know if that's any better. That looks like it could be better. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, put some padding. And the order doesn't help me with the padding. Oh yeah, that's better. That's better. I think I could probably take this so that it is right justified. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Let me put in a bigger number and see how that looks. If it overlaps. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That would be great. Okay, so that is the player stuff. Actually, one thing that I want to do real quick that I haven't done yet is okay. Add a size box. I want to anchor it to the center. Add an image to the size box. I think we've to 5 pixels by 5 pixels. No. Maybe if I just make this 5 pixels by 5 pixels. Might even go 3 by 3. So I'll just size the content. And then make that red. Okay, so there's a little crosshair there. Maybe white. Maybe not the red. It'll disappear in the box. So much. It is kind of there, and I could make it bigger. But this, I think this will be helpful in terms of like picking up smaller stuff. Okay. Oh, I know what I didn't do yet. I didn't add the construct information for this. So what I want to do is detach data table, get data table row, and promote. I think that's what I did. Make it to available, make it public, make it expose on spawn. And I want to get the static mesh. Set the static mesh to the static mesh of this. So when I go and build the shop and the spawner, it can spew out things that are different. I think I also promoted the cost to a variable, so I can grab that. I'm just going to do that for the... oh no, I don't think I need to do that for the cost. I think I need to do that for the sell price. Nope. Yep. Okay, so I think I need to do that for the sell price. Because I don't use the name. I haven't implemented the reason for the shape ID yet. But I have prototyped the store, the spawner, and the cell area. Okay, so now if I should put in a default row name just in case. Okay, so now if I break all these up, put a bunch of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2, 3. You are big. 4, 5, 6. You are just massive. Boop. Okay. So that works the way that I want it to, which is good. It is all of the good. Did I take notes on setting up a spawner? When setting up the initial shop screen? No, I did not. Okay, so I'm just going to try to remember how I set up the spawner and not use my notes. It's a part of buying the shapes. So I want to make a new folder. I'm actually going to put these in there, and I put the shop system folder in the wrong place, so move that there. Okay. It was a shape dispenser. And for like a simple prototype, until I get the art for it, I'm just gonna make a little, what I did for my City of Silence box dispenser. It's similar to that. And then it gets spawn location. So what it's gonna do shape. Spawn after the class. VP. Split it. Get more location. Yeah, everything else there is fine, except this needs to expose on spot. Okay, yeah, the row name is there. The row name is there. And this needs to be promoted to a variable. Not shape ID. We're just gonna go with shape index. Okay. And what I had this do to test to make sure that it was doing what it was supposed to. Actually, I think what I want to do index. This, okay, it does have one. It does have a default of 1. And then get the idea, make sure that it is spawning different shapes. I'm gonna pull that over here. And I'm just gonna scoot all these over there. Whee! Wait 10 seconds. Loop, loop, loop. Okay. Fantastic. I can get rid of that. It does what it's supposed to. Okay, so I have that. I have the shape spawner. So I need to, in the shop system, user interface, widget blueprint, item widget. This is going to be a vertical box. Of desired shape, and it's going to have one text and two text and an image, and the image is going to go between the text. And the image size, I think that's what it is. 128 by 128. No, this is gonna be a button. Can I wrap it with a button? I can wrap it with a button. Wrap it with a button. The button. Have a button size. Yeah, put it in opacity. Okay, that'll be fine. Get down to a little darker. But I had the same issue where it was kind of just not square. Kind of just not square. Hello, small child. You are awake. You are awake. You're hungry?
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock at night. Please?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go to bed soon?
Yeah.
You promise?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I unfortunately have to get off to feed my daughter. I'm probably gonna try to finish up the shop, because that was at least my goal for tonight, was to get where I need to be. So thank you anybody that, I see a couple views that kind of hung out and did stuff. Not so much did stuff, but like watched for a little bit. So I appreciate that. Any kind of traffic I can get is great. So if you watch it on VOD, I hope you enjoyed it as well, and I will pick back up on this a little bit later. Bye!